In this video, we're back out in Sandhollow State Park in the amazing southern Utah. Today we're taking on the trail known as Chain Reaction, as well as a few obstacles nearby. Alright, next we're heading up Chain Reaction right here. This is a fun trail. We've done this one before. This is a cool one that starts off with a couple fun obstacles, and then this trail leads up into, basically meets up with like where Master Link and all these other trails take off from. So really pretty cool. Kind of leads you into a lot of the other trails. This trail is given a 9 rating, and this is the first obstacle along the way on Chain Reaction. This is a fun wedge obstacle to really flex out your suspension.
Yes, I've gotten that tire wedged under.
Here's Max Chase starting his way up this trail. You can see here just how big that hole is down there. That's a 47-inch tire, and that hole can swallow a tire that big. Now rear steer really helps on an obstacle like this. However, you don't need it on this trail. Here's my wife Lydia starting up that same obstacle. Now what she has to do, because she doesn't have rear steer, is to try and get that rear driver's side tire to start climbing earlier. So what she has to do is really pay attention to where that front end is and watch that rear tire to see if it's going to start climbing on the sidewall.
Can you look at this rear tire? Is it on the wall? I can't tell.
I'll look real quick. Let's see.
Look at this rear tire.
It's just about the She has to be careful right here, because if it doesn't start climbing, what it will do is pull you over onto that driver's side. I drove that on all the hardest stuff in Colorado for 2 years. There it is. So here is the second real obstacle along the way on Chain Reaction. And what you can see on the left side here is a large wall, and this wall has a big ledge on it. And the goal is to try to get that front tire to climb up on that higher ledge so the back can slide across it. Without rear steer, you pretty much have to take this line, and it's a very fine line from getting it to climb and not tipping over. You can see here, watch that back axle try to push the front of the car up there. It's just barely has enough traction. However, it's very easy to slip off just like that. This is a spot where even just a few inches of wheelbase really plays into this. You can see here, once he gets that back axle to get up on that ledge, then it's a whole lot easier to maneuver yourself into place. And what you want to do is not get too far to the passenger, because you don't want to fall off that ledge either. This spot can be really tricky. It puts you really uncomfortable. Now it's my turn, and you can see here I take a little different approach. What I try to do is keep it more passenger and stay closer to that drop-off. Being that close to that drop-off doesn't feel good, however it works out better for me to keep it over there. I'm able to ride that ledge, which feels a little bad sitting inside. However, I'm able to ride that ledge and then not fall into the crack on the driver's side.
Other passenger in the rear. Other passenger in the rear. Are you trying to go
grab against the wall and then I'll grab the line.
Might be able to bend right up there.
Yeah, I think if you turn hard driver. Oh, I see.
Now it's Max's turn. He's going to take a similar approach like I did. This spot wants to naturally pull you back down into the driver's side crack. However, you just have to stay passenger just a little bit, and you will slide down a little ways. However, once you get your front end far enough up that hill, then you can turn driver and pull the back driver's side up through that crack. This is the bypass around that obstacle. Now, it's still a pretty steep hill in real life. However, the traction on it is really good.
All right, working our way through chain reaction. Our group, we got 6 people now, so it's cool. A couple friends caught up with us. Just having a good time, having a blast on this trail today. Looks like you bump up over the bottom, then just crab walk. You can crab walk across.
It's not that bad.
It doesn't look that bad, but we'll see.
Now Kevin shows us an optional line off to the left that I had really never noticed before, and what it is it's got a climb down at the bottom of it, which requires you to have to bump over it. It's a pretty good steep ledge, and then once you get up there, it's an off-camber wall ride across the top.
You don't have to do this one. Mom wanted you to get out.
Now it's my turn. It took me a few attempts to bump over this bottom spot, but now I have to go across this off-camber spot. And when you're sitting up there in the driver's seat, it feels a lot higher than it looks right here. Looking off to that passenger side is a pretty good drop down there, and so you don't want to make any mistake that would cause you to roll that way, because it would be a long way down to the bottom. If you like this sort of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. Let us know, what do you think of this trail? Have you run it? Are you looking forward to running it someday? Let us know in the comments below. As the trail twists and turns, we find ourselves at this spot, and basically what it is a tall V-wedge. Now after this V-wedge is several more wedge type obstacles, but what you gotta do is just work your way through this tall V-wedge. Last time we were here it was really slick and wet, so this one was a little bit differently, and people were kind of approaching it a little bit high passenger and bumping over it. So I had in my mind that I had to stay passenger. I wasn't really thinking much, just kind of going off what I saw last time. However, that was not the line today.
Gotta have a driver.
Go passenger in the rear too, Rob. Yeah.
After struggling for a few minutes, Kevin comes over to give me a hand and lines me up on the right spot. Once we're on the right spot, those front tires fall into that wedge and pull me right up through.
Just roll it forward, just wiggle your wheel.
Whenever things start to feel really bound up, just wiggling your front steering wheel can really free things up.
Nice job, Rob.
After we finish up chain reaction, we make our way over to this really fun wedge back behind the chute. This is an optional line that I haven't really noticed or tried before. However, what it is a steep wall with a wedge up at the top of it. Now I had noticed that Kevin stayed more driver and let the passenger side of his rig fall into that crack. What I wanted to do was see if I could put my passenger side tire high up on the high part of that crack and then straddle it. So at this point, I had pretty much pushed myself onto the driver's side of the cage. However, by turning my rear steer a little bit, I was able to settle the car back down. What I need to do was get that passenger front tire up and over that crack so I can pull myself the rest of the way through this. Once I get that front axle through there, I can now just use the rear to straddle the rest of the crack and pull myself through it. Now Max ends up staying more driver like Kevin did.
This is pretty cool, just side obstacle right up by the chute.
When they get in the crack where he is, but
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
that takes a lot of work. And that's a big hole once you get in there.
It is.
Yeah. I'm good.
Dropping the other side's actually sketchier. I was like,
We have a great view of the chute.
The kids like to crawl around the hills and make forts.
And then I'll pass the camera. Dangerously. Now to climb this, I have to take my shoes off because I'm wearing Crocs, as you can see. Crocs are lame. Come on. Hand it over. Okay. And up the porch. There's a big lake.
So we make our way over to the chute, and Emily wants her shot at driving. She likes to drive this obstacle.
all right, Emily's driving the chute. She's doing great. I'm not gonna spot her. Just keep following them. I know you can't see, but you have to look down at the tires. Okay, right there. Now you're coming over, keep going.
Right after the chute, there's another fun climb straight behind it. Emily keeps working the middle line. However, the problem is that so many people hit this, it's pretty much worn down in the middle. So you either got to go far to the driver's side or far to the passenger side to get the front end up and over it.
You're good, Ems. I'm watching.
You're gonna have to drive or you
Here's another fun optional line that we got into that Emily's driving. At this point, we're laying over pretty good towards the driver's side, and I'm telling her she needs to turn into it a little bit and keep driving.
Hey, straighten the rear end.
It's easy with rear steer to start driving forward sometimes without straightening the rear. You really have to think about that because it can put you in a bad situation really fast.
Go straight. Come up towards me. Straight in the front.
Yeah, just stay straight. And once it drops down, you're gonna do a front dig, okay? This is a good practice for front dig.
Hey, how did that feel, Ems? That was pretty cool.
Is that cool?
Good wedge.
Okay, keep going. A little bit more. Right here. Right there. Now let's put it in neutral.
This was a really good spot to practice a front dig with Emily. That's one thing we're trying to get more proficient at, especially with the cone dodging we've been doing lately. So in this car, what works is to put it in reverse and kind of pull out the rear axle on the transfer case at the same time, it seems to unbind all the gears. And then once you get it in the front only, give it a little gas with a little bit of brake, and then it pulls the car right around.
Here in Sandhollow, you just have to get used to those.
Hey Rob, front only is good to go downhill.
I know, but I like this one. This one has good brakes, so I'd rather do this.
Once we get moving again, it's very easy with this transfer case to shift it back into 4 low. All we have to do is push the stick on the rear axle forward and it easily
A
engages.
little bit more. Right there.
Real slow. I think he was saying be over here.
Yeah, you do want, where are you going is good. Hey, you can turn downhill now.
All right, we finished up chain reaction, making our way. We played around on the chute and stuff for a little bit, and now we're just making our way back. Gonna go get something to eat.